What up? It's Mr. K Weezy, and yesterday I finally beat The Witcher 3 and wanted to share a couple of my opinions about the game. The Witcher 3 is a great story. It entails about a witcher named Geralt who is searching for a young woman named Ciri who is the child of prophecy. Throughout this peregrination, you encounter a myriad of characters from the previous installments. Characters such as Yennefer, Triss Merigold, Dudu, Dandelion, and a host of others. These characters provide backstory from the previous installments and help you along the way. The greatest component to the story is the game's compelling dialogue choices. Each of these choices has an effect to how an array of things will carry out, which can stem from a multitude of things, such as characters' deaths, allies turning against you, and even the prices of weaponry. This game immerses you as it makes you care about how your decisions will affect others in the long run, which I believe is the story's best attribute. The gameplay is another great component to the game. It isn't your run-of-the-mill swing a sword and win the battle. In this game, you must creatively think about how you engage in battles. These things matter because of the various enemy types you will encounter throughout the game's entirety. This game encourages well thought out strategies by presenting players with challenging decisions regarding adhesives to weaponry and character attributes. One dynamic that stood out is the sheer volume of the game's world. There is just so much to do, such as main quests, secondary quests, Witcher contracts, and many more. What is even more interesting is the areas you will explore outside of those missions and the things you may discover. The soundtrack is also pretty good and provides a real feel towards it. In one chapter specifically, if you've learned or have read anything about the relationship between Geralt and Yennefer, you will know exactly what this song is referring to. It allows for those to grasp a better comprehension on how those two feel about one another. My main gripes with this game is that at times the game felt as though it was too massive. I often felt overwhelmed with the tasks that I needed to complete. I became frustrated at how the game does not provide weaponry that is able to do critical damages at times. I perceive that in order to get quality weaponry or tools, you have to go through a great deal of trouble to conjure the materials necessary to craft a weapon or locate a quality weapon. This led to long battles where my equipment hardly did any damage. Despite the difficulty, I would defeat bosses that were on much higher levels, and still was not rewarded for beating those bosses. Overall, I greatly enjoyed this game despite my gripes. I would recommend this to anyone who loves RPGs and has a lot of time to invest in this game. If you cannot allocate time to get this game, I would hold off until you have the time necessary. This is due to the amount required to complete it, depending on your style of play. If you are a completionist, then expect to play this game much more than you anticipated. In my 51 hours alone, I still have character attributes to develop, additional side quests, question marks all over the map, and Witcher contracts that I have yet to complete. My overall score of this game is an 8.5. Please let me know what you thought about the video. Make sure to like, favorite, and comment, and also make sure to subscribe. Peace.
You are a mutant, a freak, a useless relic of a bygone age that should be burned like a withered branch.
How many people's lives have you saved? From Bruxay, from Leshens?
That has no bearing.
Asked you a question. How many? There's something to think about, folks.
Preacher's fierce in the mouth, but holler at him and his tail slinks between his legs. Come on, people.